When did you realize you actually had control over your life? I was 8 when my foster parents were arrested. My room was filled with garbage bags stuffed with needles, and strange men I'd never seen would come in while I was sleeping. They'd reach over me to get to whatever they were buying, their hands lingering on me more often than not. I was home alone the day they were busted. A customer I'd never seen came to the door, and when I opened it and asked what he wanted, his jaw dropped. He looked at me with these sad eyes before asking where my parents were. They had trained me to lie, so I stuck to their script, but he saw through me. He came inside, didn't even buy anything, just sat on the couch talking to me. It was the first time in my life an adult made me feel somewhat safe. He asked me about my favorite shows and toys, and when I told him I don't have any, I saw his heart break. He made a few phone calls and told me I'd soon be safe. My parents arrived minutes later. They shook the guy's hand and asked if their little salesgirl did a good job. He looked disturbed. He stalled them by asking questions, and that's when police showed up. My parents tried claiming this wasn't even their house and that they were the ones reporting him for keeping a child in these conditions, but the documents proved otherwise. They were stuffed in handcuffs, and within 4 days I was placed with a new couple. My first night while eating dinner, the woman made me promise. "You're safe here, sweetie," she said while I was trying not to inhale my entire dinner. "You're my little sis now," the 17-year-old teenager added, nudging my arm. "You want to see my Pokemon card collection after dinner?" the man said. My eyes went wide. I'd only heard about Pokemon cards before and had always wanted to see one. For the first few months, life here was amazing. 3 warm meals and a clean bed. I was put into therapy where I made the therapist cry with my life story. Still, I was healing, adjusting, making actual friends, and learning that an adult raising their hand could be a high five and not a beating. But then they got another foster kid, also from a toxic situation like me. And soon, my safe chair at dinner was given to him, and I had to sit on the wobbly stool. My foster brother, who I'd grown close with, started paying all the attention to him. The man and woman were suddenly too busy to take me to my therapy sessions, and before I knew it, I was getting screamed at for waking up late or not finishing my dinner. When I begged them not to yell because it triggered my PTSD, the man sent me to my room and told me I wasn't coming out until I stopped defying them. They started outright telling me I was nothing but a paycheck, and the real nightmare started when they realized they could use threats against me. I was beaten in my old house, so violence made me comply out of fear. Just like that, I became their personal servant. I cleaned the whole house and got hit if I didn't. I cooked every dinner and got hit if I didn't. I'd stare at my little body covered in bruises in the shower, wondering if I was the problem. I hit my final nail in the coffin when I saw another foster kid come into the home, and overnight, the boy who came after me went from getting treated like royalty to getting treated like me. So I said screw it and swore to myself to not let these monsters break me. I played with dolls to take my mind off the bruises. I repeated I'm worthy 100 times before bed if it meant I felt better. The man and woman actually gave me one of the smaller boys they adopted to parent, and little Joshua became my lifeline. He was only 7 years younger than me, but he became the person that got me through everything. When I cooked for the family, I was really cooking for him. When I cleaned the house, I cleaned mine and his room the most. The man and woman wanted to start laying hands on him and forcing him to work like the other kids when he was 6, but I threw myself in between them saying I'd pick up the slack for him. I ended up running away at 16 with a 9-year-old Joshua in my arms and a CPS number for all the other broken kids living in that home. I squatted in friends' places in different homes until I found someone willing to rent a single room to a 17-year-old girl with an 11-year-old foster brother. 10 years later, I was more than back on my feet, and that's when I saw the universe has a sick sense of humor. I was a lawyer now, specializing in child-related cases. I got assigned a case about a client who sold laced substances to a minor, resulting in the minor passing away. The family I was assigned to defend? My second set of foster parents. They leapt out of their chairs when they saw me. "Sweetheart, it's you!" I couldn't believe my eyes. I stayed professional and cordial, and refused to give them discounts on the lawyer fees no matter how hard they begged. The whole time we worked together, they acted like I had made it because of them. The real kicker came when I realized who was being prosecuted. My first set of foster parents. Apparently they were out and still selling. That was when rage consumed me. Thankfully, none of them ever filled out papers officially adopting or fostering me, so there was no conflict of interest. I worked days and nights on this case, and got them the maximum sentence, 25 years each. The man even snitched on the woman, but that didn't help his case at all. When the gavel banged and history was won, I awkwardly hugged my second set of foster parents and told them to never contact me again. They invited me for dinner, but I refused. That night, I used the connections I had and had CPS go check them out. Sure enough, they were still running that exact same scheme. The workers took one look at the bruises on the kids and took them all away. To this day, they don't know it was me, and I plan to keep it that way.